We're live. Hey guys, this is Will here for Demand the Truth. Please check out my YouTube channel, YouTube.com/Demand the Truth. I do audits, but I do different types of audits. I've done some auditing with Enrique. I got arrested with him. We've done some other audits together too. But I also audit government officials. I do interviews. I've done some legal interviews lately with Fritz Klingmeyer, the guy that literally wrote the book on the Illuminati, names. John Kiriakou, award-winning journalist, author, and CIA whistleblower, many, many more. So check out my YouTube channel. I got like 17 views on there, so if you guys help me out, that'd be super great. Anyway, long story short, we're here in Charleston, South Carolina. And we're in the downtown area. We're on the location right now, as you see across the street, Church Street. And I believe it's, what's this street right here? Is it, let me double check, I don't want to get it wrong. Yep, Broad Street. Yep, so we're on the corner of Church and Broad Street here. And this is the location of the first Supreme Masonic Mother Lodge in the United States. Now, I'm going to go through all the dates and show you some facts. I even wrote down a couple points here, but it's very interesting. So, Masonic things in this area go back to 1736. This was a meeting hall. Now, anybody that's familiar with the Civil War will remember that when Sherman marched down to South Carolina, he burned a lot of things down, and the original location is here. But now it's the location of South State Bank, former Masonic temple. And banks and Masonic temples, or Masons I should say, have a lot in common because there's 33 degrees in Freemasonry. So in order to know what's going on at the top, you have to pass through those degrees. And it costs money too, and that's hidden information. So the people on the first few degrees have no idea what's going on in the 32nd, 33rd degree. So they don't know what's going on in the smaller degrees to the higher degrees. Same thing happens when you're in a bank. The bank teller does not know what's going on in the manager's office, let alone what's going on in the CEO boardroom. So that's what we're seeing here. And it's very funny too that it's also a bank too. For a long time, the bigger buildings were churches, and now in the skyscrapers of cities, now they're banks. And it's only fitting that Masons who draw their lineage directly from the Knights Templar, who gain money through banking, should now be located at a bank. But we're going to go across the street, we're going to take a look at it, we're going to take a look at some of the symbols. I'm going to tell you guys some pretty interesting facts right now too. But so this location right here, now it is the bank, was the first ever site of a Masonic Hall, the Supreme Mother Lodge of a Masonic Hall in the United States of America. Now, it was here up until 1911. In 1911, it was moved to Washington, D.C. I also did a video there. I actually audited the Masonic Lodge in Washington, D.C. That is now the head lodge in D.C. That's at 1733 33rd Street in Washington, D.C. And you can see me. You're not allowed to video in there, but go to my YouTube channel, YouTube.com/Demand the Truth, and you can see me audit inside a Masonic Hall. They had to tell me to keep putting my thing down. Pretty interesting stuff there. They were like, hey, you see that flag over there? I was like, oh yeah, the American flag? You were like, no, this other one. It's the Supreme Council of the Masonic Lodge one. They were like, that was the first flag on the moon. So whether you believe in the moon landing or what, they say that the first flag on the moon was a Masonic flag, not the United States flag. So it's very interesting. So we also showed you an obelisk, or I'm not sure if we've uploaded that. No, we have not uploaded that video. But you also see obelisks everywhere. Washington's monument in D.C. is an obelisk. There's obelisks in, I think, every country. I've yet to find a country that does not have an obelisk. It's a Masonic symbol. It has nothing to do with the United States, just like the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill has nothing to do with the United States. Yet they're there, and George Washington, in his memorial in D.C., says George Washington, Mason, and First President. So they thought Mason was more important than the First President. Now, I'm not here saying Masons are bad, or they even know what they're going on, because like I said, on the outer degrees, they don't necessarily know what's going on to the higher degrees of 33 degrees. So 33 is another number that's fun, but let's take a walk across here. I want to show you some of the symbolism that we have here. It's very interesting. Like I said, this is the first ever location where Masons met in the United States in the Supreme. Oh, we're going to hold up for some traffic here. Sorry about that. I'm going to rattle off a couple facts before we do that, too. So, Albert Pike, in the first motto ever created by the Masons was Abo a Chaos, which means order out of chaos. And if you notice, that's how they try to divide people. Republican, Democrat, black, white, cop, civilian. They try to divide us any way they can. And that's their phrase. In the current location in D.C., you see it emblazoned in stained glass, order out of chaos, abo a chaos, and Albert Pike is buried there. They uprooted his body and they reburied it in the Masonic temple there in Washington, D.C. Now, there's still a statue, and I've done a video on this too. There's still a statue to Albert Pike. Albert Pike, they're taking statues down left and right of Confederates. Albert Pike was a Confederate general and created the Masons, but yet nobody's asking for his statue to be taken down because he's such an important person, quote unquote. And that's in Washington, D.C. That's not in the South. That's above the Mason-Dixon line, and they have a Confederate general there. That's because, only because he's a Freemason. Now, can you walk across here? Yeah, let's walk across here. So, a lot of people don't know this about the United States, but the first ever third party in United States history was the anti-Masonic party. It was an anti-Masonic party, and it was started because of this thing called the William Morgan incident. The William Morgan incident was a guy named William Morgan in the year 1826. He was supposedly going to expose the secrets of Freemasons. And what happened is, what he did is he said, okay, I'm going to expose these secrets of Freemasonry. And he ended up dying, supposedly by Masons, and now there's an obelisk to his memorial. So William Morgan was killed because he revealed Masonry secrets in 1826, and because of the public outcry that happened, then guess what happened? The first third party in United States history, the anti-Masonic party, started. So it's absolutely crazy. So you'll see here the columns, the same one in the Washington, D.C., you'll see the columns. The one in Washington, D.C. has 33-foot columns all around it. If you take a look closely here, you'll see the number 33. And you see the double-headed eagle. It's also interesting, the double-headed eagle is a symbol of not only Russia, but several other flags. And if you take a look up here, this is the original building, what it originally looked like when it first housed this thing back in 1736. And as you can see on this site, the Shepherd's Tavern, birthplace of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, the Mother Supreme Council of the world. So the United States Freemasonry in the entire Western Hemisphere started right here at this very spot. And it's very interesting, on either side it'll go through prominent local Masons. But Brent Morris, who is the current head 33rd degree Freemason at DC, has an entire article online called Masonic Walk, which this entire area is littered with Masonic history. George Washington went down Lodge Street, and it's very interesting because it's named Lodge Street after that Masonic lodge. The crazy thing is about all of this is Masons like to keep information secret, and you have to pay money, and you have to go on up different levels in order to get their truth, their teaching. I believe that information should be free. Enrique from Auditing America believes that information should be free for everybody, not a select few that pay your way to the top and pay your way to get influence. I'm not saying Masons are bad, but information should be free. And these Masons claim that their information is sublime and earth-changing. It turns you from a mortal man into a higher being. However, they don't want to share that with the rest of you unless you pay them a whole bunch of money. So I'm going to show you some more stuff on the side over here. There's some pretty interesting details. But this is where it all started, right here. It looks like a quiet, sleepy town. You've got beautiful palmettos everywhere. And as you can see, again, the double-headed eagle showing this right here, the Supreme Council of the 33rd degree. And May 31st, 1801, another interesting fact that you guys may or may not be aware of, almost every cornerstone of every important building in the United States is laid in a Masonic ritual. And I guess I just want to show you one or other thing. It's a lot of symbolism. Hey, I don't claim to be any expert in any of the symbolism, but I've been to D.C. a number of times. I've been to Massachusetts. I've been to Providence, Rhode Island. That's where I'm from. And all of these other places, and you see the same symbolism. Now, I'm no expert, and I'm also not involved in any secret societies at all. But I do a little research myself. I'd like to see what you guys out there can come up with, but I wanted to show you this. And after this, we're going to go walking around the streets, maybe see if we can do some auditing. Enrique is going to take over after that. But the Grand Lodge of Ancient Freemasons of South Carolina, organized before August 18, 1737, this Grand Lodge met in Charles Shepherd's Tavern, an early meeting place of the colony located in the corner. And you see Ancient Freemasons of South Carolina. You've got the square and the compass over the book. You've got the all-seeing eye. You've got the Masonic shake. And hey, I just find this stuff interesting because almost every single president that we've ever had has been a Freemason. They say the first flag that landed on the moon was a Freemason. Freemasons. Almost the majority of the signers of the Declaration of Independence were Freemasons, and they're all part of this. It's like George Carlin says, they're all part of the big club, and you ain't in it. Now, whatever you think about Masons, maybe they're good, maybe they're bad, maybe the symbolism just makes you a better person, but why can't they share that symbolism with the rest of us? Why can't they teach us about this secret ancient knowledge? Why is that? I don't know. Why do they want to keep it to themselves? Why are always the most important people Masons? And, you know, I'm just throwing this out there because this is the auditing channel. I'm very thankful for him allowing me to come on here and talk to you guys about this. So if you like what you're hearing, go to YouTube/TheManTheTruth. If you don't, that's fine too. But everywhere you go, and I guess let's start walking down. Looks like there's some people here. But this is something that you guys might find interesting because I know it's this way in Providence, Rhode Island. I know it's in a lot of other places too. The lawyers on either side of trial, and now Enrique was locked up for resisting arrest. He was arrested just like I was. I filmed it, and they said he was resisting arrest. I was there. I have it on video. He most assuredly was not resisting arrest in any way at all. But guess what? He has a year of probation over his head now. Every time he goes out to do an audit at the National Guard at Myrtle Beach, you guys see those videos today? You better share those videos. He's putting his life on his line. Every time he does an audit, he could be, right now, if he did an audit and one of these cops flipped on him and didn't like him, like the other lady's like, I'm not racist, I'm white, you're white, come to jail, boy. Somebody called Enrique boy out here. They called him a little boy. One of these jackboot thug cops, and I think there's some good cops out there if they adhere to the Constitution and expose corrupt cops as well. But Enrique, when he's doing this, he's risking getting handcuffed, spending a night or a weekend or several days in jail. They kept his butt in jail way longer unconstitutionally than they did for me in one socket. Then they'll just shackle his ass back up, drag his ass all the way up the eastern seaboard to Providence, and then be like, oh, you got probation, Enrique, and we hate you here. So guess what? You're spending the next year of your life locked behind bars. So donate to Enrique, please, because this guy's literally putting his life. This guy's got a family, okay? So he's literally putting his life on his line for the First Amendment. What is better than that? What is better than that? So it's interesting because not only do the same people that illegally and unlawfully, unjustly, unconstitutionally lock up Enrique for fraudulent charges, no, they're not worrying about the pedophiles. Oh, no. They'd rather shoot your dog, and they'd rather give you tickets. And they want to slander and lie. Now Enrique's going to have that cloud over his head. Enrique is one of the nicest people I've ever met. He's so generous, such a cool dude. And now he has this cloud over his head because of something entirely fraudulent. And the sad part about it all is the lawyers on both sides, the prosecution, the defense, they're all hanging out with the judge. They're getting lunch. They're having drinks. They're talking behind the scenes. And then they have a conference before where the prosecutor meets with the judge and the other lawyer, and then they determine your fate without you being there. And then they come back and say, here's what we're going to do for you, buddy. What the hell? And that's a beautiful little PIs. They call them PIs here. They don't call them balconies. But that's crazy. So on top of that, I will add one more layer. Not only is it an incestuous relationship between the police, the cops, and the judges, when you add Freemasonry to it all, Freemasons take an oath. They take a blood oath not to reveal their secrets. That's why William Morgan was killed. That's why the first third party in United States history was the anti-Masonic Party was created. So these rich elitists taking blood oaths to honor their brother in Freemasonry above others, even look up the forget-me-nots. In World War II, Masons on both sides wouldn't shoot each other just because they were Masons. So people that wouldn't shoot each other on other sides of the war, when they're brothers and they have their little symbols and their little gang handshakes, do you think they're going to choose Enrique's First Amendment constitutionally protected right, or they're going to choose their Masonic brother over you? So that's part of the problem here, because people take oaths higher than the Constitution, and then the dumbass cops that take an oath to the Constitution, they're not even honoring it. And like Enrique said, you got to go 2 years to school to be a barber, 6 months to be a cop, and they don't teach you the true history of the Constitution. And that's why Enrique does what he does, is because it's tyrannical. I could not believe. Did you guys watch the video at Myrtle Beach? They literally shut down the entire, like every cop on duty, except for maybe like 1 or 2 at the station, was there. SWAT was called. Why? Because people with cameras came in. Now, they love cameras when they're body cameras and they can shut them off during a shooting. They love cameras in your smartphones and your laptops so the NSA can watch. You know, Snowden exposed that. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn that the NSA is spending God only knows how many billions of our own money to spy on us. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about the cameras that are all up on the street corners everywhere. Nobody cares about the cameras in the bank. Oh, but once a slave puts his own camera up, get on the ground! It's absolutely insane. I don't know what this building is here, but it's rather crazy. Cool building to look at. Could be safe. What's this? I'm not sure. No, stay still. So we're out here walking around downtown Charleston. I had to do one more video because, and I appreciate Enrique for giving me the form, is because that's something that people don't realize. People take an oath to the Constitution, but these Masons, they're taking an oath to the Masonic brothers. And they honor that more than their oath to the Constitution. And one other thing I'd say too is, you know, we need to do more than just audit these police officers, because remember, they're just the goons, and we got to keep auditing the police officers. I'm not saying to the left at all. We got to keep doing that, and God bless Enrique for doing that, putting his life on the line every single time he does it. But we also got to start auditing the State House, the corrupt judges. We got to start auditing these politicians, these corrupt businessmen. We got to start asking them some questions too, peacefully, legally, and lawfully, and see what's going on. Because nothing is going to change unless people watching take action. And I know there's a bunch of people that are watching this right now who do take action all the time. And I'm not talking you folks out there. But if you're on your butt on the computer, get out there sometime. Hey, maybe you don't like to go out. Maybe you're non-confrontational. Okay, make a fake account and make memes, or edit your own videos, or take and share other people's information, or start a community garden, or have a barbecue, have a park cleanup, have a homeless drive, get to know people, and on top of that, raise the bigger issues. Because you know, every 4 years we vote for president, but guess what? It don't really make a difference when the NSA is running everything, when the CIA is doing everything. You think they care about what president steps up there for 4 to 8 years? They don't give a damn. They've been running things. We don't even know how much the budget of the CIA is. It's declassified. The CIA poison little kids' milk, make fake videos, assassinate people.
Allegedly.
No. They on record have.
Yeah.
No, allegedly. On record. Anybody can go look that up. The CIA has overthrown or assassinated multiple heads of state. You see, and the thing is, oh great, we could have Jesus Christ, Gandhi, and Tupac running for office. But guess what? Unless we do something about the real powers that be, the Federal Reserve and the CIA in this country, we can talk if we want. Oh, let's vote for Trump. Oh, let's vote for Obama. Guess what? The CIA is still there. The Federal Reserve is still there. And guess what? We're in the longest, most illegal, unconstitutional war in the history of this country. Nobody's protesting. Nobody's protesting. Nobody cares, right? Back in the Vietnam War, there was all the hippies out there. Oh, man, no, stop it. And then the Black Panthers out there. What do we have now? We do have a bunch of bootlickers right now. A bunch of freaking bootlickers. Obama's like, I'm going to end that war. I'm going to stop that NSA spying. Oh, great. Then he gets the Nobel Peace Prize for bombing more people than Bush. And then Trump says, you know, we need to end these wars. He's out-bombed Obama, so he deserves a Nobel Prize. So until we do something about the child trafficking, the $21 trillion in debt, the most illegal, unconstitutional war in U.S. history is still going on. People are going off to war right now. Some of them weren't even born when the lies about 9/11 and weapons of mass destruction happened. They weren't even alive, and they're going off. So I know people that have lost their minds, lost their legs, lost their lives over a lie about weapons of mass destruction and 9/11. And who gives a damn? Nobody. That's why I love Enrique. That's why I love Roach Studios. That's why I love all the people out there that are taking non-violent action, being peaceful, non-partisan, using the Socratic method, because what the hell? What the hell is going on right now? And now we're entering a very interesting place. Enrique and I stopped by here earlier. This is City Market. I believe it closes at 10:30 p.m. And the crazy thing about this here is, are you giving that to me? Yeah. The crazy thing about this is, on the front of this all, you'll see the Daughters of the Confederacy. So I'm going to grab this for 1 sec, take over the duties. Just hold it.
Yeah, I'm quitting.
But yeah, that's the whole point of this, is people are taking higher oaths than their oaths to the Constitution. We have the CIA entrenched in everything. We have the Federal Reserve printing money out of thin air. Now, if I printed money out of thin air, they're going to take my cracker ass to jail. But when the Federal Reserve does it, they get a raise. You know what I'm saying?
The smoke right here.
You can do whatever you want, bro. You can go walk the door. You can't smoke the tobacco. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But that's the sad truth of it. Until we get to a critical mass, until people start protesting the illegal, unconstitutional, longest wars in U.S. history, start getting up in arms about the CIA and the child trafficking, complacency is what kills. All it takes for evil to triumph is for good men and women to do nothing. And right now, we're at a place we are is because good men and women aren't doing enough. They're good people, but you have to do more than just take care of the family. And I understand that they've been inflating the currency so tremendously that you have to get 2 jobs, and then your girl or your husband or whatever has to get another job, because they've inflated the currency so much that you have to do that. But there's still enough time. You know what? Even if you're living in the Western world, I have so many friends from around the world, and even just having a smartphone, right? There's people, half the world lives off $2 a day. People are sleeping in the rickshaws in India, you know? Just having a smartphone. It is a responsibility to do something peaceful about this, because people in other parts of the world under far worse tyranny than us are counting on us. Because even the poorest of the poor people here in the United States still has better off than the majority of the rest of the world. So it's our responsibility, with the very limited freedoms that we have left, to do something for these poor people, because until we get to a critical mass about what's going on, things will never change. We need nonviolent action to take over again. It's so funny. In the 60s and 70s, you saw people on the streets, people protesting. Now you just see people just minding their own business and doing their own thing. And that's why I love Enrique, because he's out here. He's on the forefront. He's putting himself online. So if you guys get a chance, hit him up with a super chat. You know, I mean, and he's out here traveling to different locations. So I would definitely suggest supporting Enrique. Hey, maybe you don't have a couple extra bucks to support Enrique. That's cool. Share the video. This information is gold. How many people out there think that, most people think that, oh, we're here to serve government, and those are public officials, and they tell us what to do. Wrong. That's not how it works. These people work for us, we pay their salaries, and as you've seen over and over in Enrique's videos, they'd be like, this is state property, this is federal property, and they're like, oh, who owns the state? Who owns the federal government? You can't be here. That crazy lady. So people are out here enjoying their night, but not Enrique and myself. We went all the way down, like I said, to Myrtle Beach. We didn't even get our freaking toes in the water. We were out there shutting City Hall down for just no weapons, just cameras and speech. Shut down an entire city in the United States for freedom of speech. They have all these guys around. Absolutely crazy. And we've been hearing for a long time how tyrannical a lot of these folks were, and now we've been here, we witnessed it, and Enrique's got even more videos coming out soon. And I know there's a lot of people watching this that have yet to subscribe to his channel. Just go subscribe and get the notification button. YouTube uses these algorithms that try to manipulate stuff and make like Kylie Jenner and all this bullshit popular, but whereas the First Amendment should be popular, stopping child trafficking should be popular, picking up for the Fourth Amendment should be popular. So in order to help Enrique get around those algorithms, share the video. Share his video. Share his best work. And another thing I want to mention about Enrique that you guys may not know about him, because all the there's thin blue line guys watching, just trolling out there too. And Enrique has never said that he doesn't like cops. As a matter of fact, on his channel, he says he likes cops. And if you look through his audit, the comments in the audits, when somebody passes an audit, there's all good comments. Nice. Wow, finally. This is how it should be. This is what I like. This is a real police department. I wish the rest of the police departments were like out there. So he's performing a very essential function. And it's not that he doesn't like cops. He just loves the First Amendment even more. And if a cop is supposed to support and uphold and protect and serve the First Amendment, and he's not doing that, then he's honestly not a police officer. And we need you guys to go out there, share this information, because these thin blue lines, you have to understand that Enrique is definitely not somebody that he's not violent, and he's somebody, oh, and this is a pretty interesting building here as well, but he's somebody that because a lot of people don't see, like, he's not somebody that he's cop. You can see, sometimes even if he thinks he took it a little too far, he'll go back and shake that guy's hand. like, you know, I went a little too far. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, sorry about that. Yo, you should see Enrique dealing with these people. He only gives them, and almost every single time I've seen him, he's been extremely polite. And only when they start acting tyrannical is when something is when he'll maybe start raising the voice. Once they start trampling on his rights, and then he'll raise his voice a little bit. So over here is the U.S. Customs House. Now these are basically things that don't exist anymore. Major river cities, port cities, you would see these locations, and basically anything that happened with shipping and receiving of goods would go. They get their taxation going on over there, make sure the Crown or the United States government got their fair share of theft from taxes. But it's a rather beautiful building, however, it's completely obsolete now. But if you'll notice too, you got the same iconography of the temple in D.C., and most other large buildings too. But it's just a beautiful building that I thought I'd showcase to you folks here. Well, yeah, you guys definitely should check out what Enrique is doing, and make sure you share it if you can. If you can't donate even a couple bucks to him, I mean, this guy's taking money out of it. I'm not going to give away what Enrique is doing in the future, but he is taking money out of his own pocket to go and travel and do things. I'm not going to spoil it. You guys just got to subscribe and like and get the notification, because like I said, YouTube's got those algorithms. The crazy thing about it is, he's cool. The crazy thing about all this is Enrique takes time out of his personal time and his work life and everything he does, and spends his own hard-earned money putting his life on the line. They could drag his ass up there and put more fraudulent charges on him every single time because he believes in the First Amendment. So it's a really beautiful thing to be working with Enrique. And you know, and the funny thing is, I didn't even know what a First Amendment audit was until I met this kid. I'm from Rhode Island. Rhode Island's a small state, obviously, and I know every activist there in Rhode Island. You know, I do the revolution in every single peaceful way possible. Then I see man arrested for a First Amendment audit, Providence Journal. I'm like, I don't know who that kid is, but I got to meet this kid. And I ended up checking him out, and he educated me too. Now, I already knew half the stuff that's going on, but you know, he's educated me so much on so many things. But I think the thing that a lot of people miss behind the scenes with Enrique is one of the things that they miss behind the scenes about Enrique is how cool and polite that he is. Because this dude is a regular dude, and you guys only see the interactions with sometimes the clickbaity interactions with the police. But if you were to see what happens behind the scenes, and when he puts his phone down and how cool it is, you guys would have an even better perception of Enrique. So like I said, this guy's out here doing it, man. A lot of people aren't, so you guys need to hook this guy up with either more views, subs, or hey, hook him up with the super chat. Do something, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if this guy's on blockchain or PayPal, but check him out, because, dude, these people are nuts out here. I've never seen things like I saw the other day auditing with these folks. It's absolutely crazy. You would think that this is North Korea. You would literally think that this is North Korea, the way things are happening. And it's so funny because everybody in this whole city is so chill. Everybody here, from the high class to the low class people of society, are so damn chill. Everyone's so friendly. Everyone says, "Oh, bless you, bless you." Oh, they're so nice. But then the cops, oh my gosh. I don't know if we can tell them about the interaction that we had at Somerville Police Department. We'll save that one. That's going to be in a video coming up. We'll probably tell you about that. But it's so funny because we went into a police station. So we're out here researching what's going on with Pickle Boy, Pickle Dad, and who is the son of Angie Grandpa, who, if you guys don't know, he's got all these views. Angie Grandpa is dead now, but he has like 5 million subs, and then a kid behind the camera, his son, has like 2 million subs, like billions of views, literally billions of views. And they have like these kids. Angie Grandpa is now dead, but he had stolen valor, saying he was in Vietnam when he wasn't. He threw a Christmas tree down on a kid. He hit a kid with a toy truck. He's dead. And they would do these reality-style YouTube videos where they freak out and get a lot of views, break a table, break a PlayStation, so they could go to a whole bunch of money, and they get it right back with YouTube ads, right? Because they got so many subs. Then you got this guy, Pickle Boy, who's still alive, still a YouTube reality star, still getting money off this, right? Now, it's one thing if you're getting money, standing up for what you believe and doing what's morally righteous. It's another thing to do that on alleged abuse, right? So this guy, Pickle Boy, he's Pickle Dad on Twitter. He's got these kids with him on video. This kid has taken a 4 or 3-year-old child and mushed the shit out of him. Kicks them in the face on video. There's other ones where he's got a Freddy mask on. He's terrorizing the kids. Angry Grandpa's like, I'm gonna give him to you. I'm gonna give him to you with a knife. These little kids, and then he doesn't even take the mask off to reassure the young child. These people, in my opinion, terrorize these children. But not only do they terrorize these children, they terrorize them for money. So we went down here to investigate, and obviously, if you are somewhat familiar with Enrique's channel, you can't point a camera anywhere, and then unless you have the cops there like this. So Enrique thought, you know what?
Let's do an investigation, right?
Let's do an investigation, right? So we said, we're going to go over there, and thanks to Roasted Studios. Thank you so much to Roasted Studios.
Yep.
I'm not going to, for getting us over there, but I don't know how much I can tell. So Enrique, because we want this video to come out. But
I'm gonna get
the crazy part about it is, we were like, all right, let's go. Something we never really do. Enrique's obviously done 100 more audits than I have, but we were like, for this time we're gonna go because this dude lives off on a really secluded area in a nice strip, right? So we were like, all right, we're gonna go to the police station first. And I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna scope things out, and we'll take from there. I'm not gonna spoil anything. We'll see what happens. Just check on that video. That's one of the main reasons that we're down here. But in that video, you will see. You're just gonna see the difference because, in my experience with cops too, like if you're nice and they were like, oh, ID, and you give them their ID and you give them the name, and hey, if you let your rights get trampled on, then they're like, oh, hey, how are you? You joke with them, then they love you. But if you stand up for your rights, and if you assert your rights, thank you, then they hate you. Then they can't stand you. But if you're nice, and if you give up your First and Fourth Amendment,
we'll be your friend if you waive your rights.
Yeah, we'll be nice to you. You guys are not going to believe the next few videos that are coming out, so stay tuned to Auditing channel in the next hours and couple days, because I know tomorrow you've got some spicy-ass videos. Oh my gosh.
9 in the morning.
Yeah, you guys set your alarm 9 a.m. Eastern time. Wow. You think some of these other videos are crazy? Absolutely insane. This is some insane ass crap. But yeah, auditing. I don't know. What do you want to say about what we've done so far here in South Kakalaka?
I think South Carolina needs a lot more auditors. They have a great team down here with News Now South Carolina. There's a few other guys, South Carolina auditor, Carolina auditor, Jeff is here audit. These guys are all great, but
it was really cool too.
the problem here is big. There's way too many tyrants and not too many cameras.
And I'll let you get back to your point and say whatever you want, but I think it's important what you just said right now, because you guys have all seen the videos. I have no idea. I'm not from here, brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. It says it's here, but it's
Oh, you gotta get in. Oh, shit.
Oh, because it's probably not one open 24 hours. Yep. You too.
What the hell are we talking about? Oh, yeah, so you guys have all watched Enrique's videos, and you've seen him go most of the time one-on-one. Maybe he'll have a couple other people with him, too. You know what I'm saying? Shout-outs to Josh, shout-outs to Chase, out there helping Enrique. But more often than not, Enrique goes by himself, right? I mean, he goes out there by himself. But it was really amazing to see in some of these videos, and some of the videos that have yet to be released, what happens when it's not just 3, 4, 5, 6 cops versus one auditor, but when they have 5, 6 auditors going on at the same time throwing questions. What was that like for you? Because that was, seeing that first day was like, this is crazy. Because all these people asserting their rights at the same time, and that's what I was saying. Imagine if 50 people went at a time to audit. Now, we wouldn't have to worry about this, right? 50 people in every state went out to audit, then every cop would know what's going on. They would know the First Amendment, they would know the Fourth Amendment, and already, because what Enrique's done, he's caused internal reforms in the police system. Because of the illegal way that they conducted themselves with Enrique, they were forced to release a memo internally, and I believe it was maybe potentially, I don't know, maybe Enrique can speak to that, but on how to treat these people. and how to uphold their rights. That's one person. If 50 people in every state came out to do that, we wouldn't have to worry about this anymore. We would have, then we can move on to our other parts of the Bill of Rights. Then we can move on to the illegal wars, you know? Then we can move on to the CIA, the Federal Reserve. You know what? I do the same thing when it comes to DCYF. I'm out there asking people, which is Child Protective Services. In Rhode Island, 20 to 25 children in the smallest state go missing every single day. We don't know how many don't come back. So I went and audited them, asked them the question. Hey, what's going on? But imagine if I was asking these people questions and I had 20, 50 people with me. Then they can't just say, oh, shut up. Oh, you're just one person. You're crazy. And we're all the way back at the beginning where we started, a nice little trip down. Enrique, I don't know if you have more thoughts, or if you want to keep this live going, what you want to do.
I want to thank you very much for taking your time to, you know, talk about all this. Guys, I need you guys all, as soon as the live stream is over, go to Demand the Truth on YouTube. Demand the Truth, okay? And subscribe to his channel. He's got a lot of great videos and a lot of good information that I'm sure you guys want to hear. We're gonna go ahead and shut this down right now. And I want to thank all of you for being here. And we'll see you tomorrow, okay? Take care, guys.